With us now on the Oakland County Megacast, let's bring in Joe Ketchum. He is the Park Superintendent for the West Bloomfield Parks Department. We want to say thank you for being with us on the Oakland County Megacast, and also thank you to the West Bloomfield Parks for allowing us to live stream today's edition of the Oakland County Megacast on your Facebook page. How are you doing today, Joe? Did you survive the windy weekend?
Well, my wife tried to get me to put Christmas lights up on the roof yesterday, and I said, I don't think it's a good idea today. So I did survive. I did not get on the roof. So
see, Mother Nature gave you a favor.
Yes, it did.
So
but everything's good, and actually the parks are open, and obviously with the governor's news, we really want people, when we do have some really nice weather, to continue to come out and enjoy our parks.
So we will just kind of touching on the weather. When the weather is as crazy as it was this weekend, was there any damage done to any of the parks? Any trees down, things of that nature?
So our staff gets here at 7 o'clock in the morning. We check messages, and then we do our park openings and assess damages. We really do depend on our residents, however, because we cannot cover the 600 acres of parkland all by ourselves. So we do depend on our residents to call in, and they're very vigilant and will call us and let us know of any damage. But as far as I know of today, we do not have any damage out there.
Oh, that's good, because I saw a lot of trees down over in our area last night and coming into today, so that's good news as far as the parks. So let's talk a little bit about the parks. Usage has been up a lot during the pandemic. Going into the winter months, what type of activities are going to be offered?
Well, going into the winter activities, obviously the governor's announcement here yesterday has got us scrambling, and our recreation staff will be working on that obviously in the next couple of days to try to change schedules. But we were looking forward to still doing virtual programming where we could do it over Zooms, or we can do it virtually on our Facebook. So we'll continue to do that. And we were doing a lot of outdoor programming where we could do events outdoors, where we could walk, and we're going to continue to do that with our naturalist programs. And then we were doing, and I think we're going to continue doing some parking lot bingo and some trivia bingo in the parking lot. That way people can come and continue to do that program safely in their own cars. So we're going to continue to look for programming opportunities that are going to be virtual or very limited outdoor experiences, if that makes sense.
Joe Ketchum joining us from West Bloomfield Parks. He is their Parks Superintendent with us on the Oakland County Megacast. And Joe, today, Parks celebrates its 50th anniversary serving the township of West Bloomfield. You've been with the organization for 30 years, and congratulations on your 30 years with the organization. Thank you for your service to the community as well. Definitely right now, there's been a lot of changes that have been made in the last 8 months and have continued to have been made as the pandemic continues on. But over your time with Parks, what have you seen as being some of the key changes and developments over time that has turned West Bloomfield Parks into a staple of the West Bloomfield community that people look to when they're visiting West Bloomfield or when they're considering moving to West Bloomfield as an attraction?
Well, first and foremost, the biggest thing I can say that's been the biggest changing point for this department is the support of the residents. We have 4 operating millages that have to be voted on every 10 years. They kind of different 10-year spans, but the overwhelming support of the community in those millages has allowed us to provide such a beautiful park system to the 65,000 residents of West Bloomfield. And really, starting back with Joey Spano, who just retired from the community education, was one of the biggest driving forces, I think, for the Parks Department was the acquisition of the Arrowhead Nature Preserve and the 4.2 miles of the original West Bloomfield Trail, Rails to Trail project. That Rails to Trail program and development has really spearheaded the interest and the use in our parks. And obviously there's been lots of other things that have happened over the course of my career. Luckily, I got here and we already had Marshbank Park, but Marshbank Park was a Metro Parks back in the day, and we were able to acquire that for $1 from the Metro Park system. And the redevelopment of that 10 years ago has really spiked the use of Marshbank Park and the ability for people to use the water by our fishing pier or by the canoe kayak launch. In the years prior to that, there was no way of accessing the water. There's just lots of different things that I can just continue to name, but it's really been at the bottom line, it's been the support of the residents with their tax dollars enabling us to do this wonderful work.
And Joe, how much do you think this pandemic has actually helped support the parks? Because, when we were all locked down, we really only had our parks to be able to get out and to enjoy. Do you think it allowed for people to get out and really appreciate what is in their backyard?
Oh, absolutely. Parks and Recreation departments for years have always said that we're essential, that we're an essential service, that we're an important part of the community. This pandemic has just highlighted our how essential we are. And quite honestly, like I said, I've been here almost 29 years, and I have never seen the amount of usage that we have seen this past 6 to 7 months since the pandemic struck. I think, a couple things. Obviously, it's one of the few places that people feel safe, that they can go out and enjoy and use our facilities, but also the fact that so many people are home. So many people are home working. So the mom or dad that's working from home and now they're going to take their lunch hour instead of going to a restaurant, they can come out to our park, do a quick 45-minute walk in the trail over at Drake Sports Park around the walking path. They can do those kind of activities a lot easier now that they're working from home and can get out and enjoy these things. But obviously, it's been wonderful to see the people use our parks. It's been an interesting 6-7 months. When we first hit, we were shutting everything down, and then once we started to learn more about the virus and how it reacts and then what we could do safely, we started ramping things up to reopen stuff and get people back out in the parks. And it's been wonderful, and really do appreciate, once again, the people that are coming out to the parks, respecting our parks, taking care of them, and hopefully respecting one another.
With that, obviously in the first phase, a lot of the, playground equipment and things of that nature were actually closed. Now it's back open, but there is a warning at all the parks near the playground equipment for people just to know if they use it for their safety. Any indication that they may be off limits again if this continues into the winter months?
No, the only thing that will happen with our, really what they found with the virus is that it's more intimate contact, where people are breathing on each other. Really, the surfaces we found, what's been found is it's not where you get it. And quite honestly, with the equipment being outside, natural sunlight, cold temperatures, different temperatures actually kill the virus. So with that said, the only thing I will say going in the winter months is that we actually do close down our playgrounds during the winter time, because our safety surfaces for kids to safely be on those apparatuses and not fall, or when they fall onto a safety surface, those surfaces become frozen. So we actually do close down our playgrounds, and it'll be pretty soon, depending on the weather, we will start closing down the playgrounds. But that's what we do every year. It has nothing to do with the virus. And as soon as we can, we'll reopen them in the spring. What we'll do in the wintertime, though, is we'll set up sledding hills over at Marshbank Park and behind Town Hall. And so we have 2 sledding hills that we set up and maintain during the winter for people to get out and enjoy. And obviously, the parks are always open, so people can come out, sled, they can cross-country ski, and just go for a hike.
Oh, I do still enjoy sledding. I think even if, you might be an adult, but it's okay to still go to the sled hill.
It's fun.
Absolutely.
I'll take on the little kids any day. Knowing that, so it's the 50th anniversary. What do you think is ahead for the Parks Department, even let's say in the next 5 years? What's on the horizon?
Well, obviously, the biggest thing that's coming down the horizon for us will be this Memorial Day. We'll be opening up the Lily Pad Springs Spray Park at the location 6200 Farmany Road, which was our Family Aquatic Center, and that's a $3 million project that we have been working on for the last 3 years, and are just looking really forward to opening that up this next summer. Hopefully, by then the pandemic has slowed down. And we can fully open it to the public, and that's our next big major project and opportunity that we're looking forward to presenting to the residents of West Bloomfield.
Joe Ketchum with us. He's the Parks Superintendent, joining us today on the Oakland County MegaCast from West Bloomfield Parks, our Facebook partner of the day as well. Joe, just another few minutes with you on the program today. Anything else that would be important for our audience to know from West Bloomfield Parks right now, or anything else that we have not spoken about on today's show?
Absolutely. Today at 3 o'clock on our Facebook Live, we have a 50th anniversary history quiz contest that's going on.
That's okay. We're all experiencing those little technical snafus.
Yes. So at 3 o'clock today, live Facebook, West Bloomfield Facebook page, we're having a quiz contest for the history of West Bloomfield. And there's going to be prizes. I think some of the prizes are going to be free passes to the Lily Pad Springs Spray Park. And we look forward to people participating in that at 3 o'clock. Please join us. And other than that, just everybody have a safe holiday season. And hopefully we can all get through this pandemic with a lot of kindness and respect to one another.
Oh, we can't wait for that and for this to be over. Hopefully with the vaccine, by the time the lily pad is actually open, by that time it seems like the vaccine will be widely available to the public, which will allow for us, I don't know if we'll ever get back to our old way of living, but a new way of living that we can get out and enjoy these things. Hey, quickly, Joe, before we let you go, if we could just talk for a minute about how you guys are doing on employees. I know that that's been a challenge for the Parks Department and really so many companies as well. What's that looking like for you and your staff going into the winter months?
Well, winter months we're in good shape because we have our full-time staff. It's really in the summertime, spring and summer, that we really will be desperate for summer staff, seasonal summer staff. Obviously, we'll be adding people to our spray park, Lily Pad Springs. The park staff, with the pandemic this year, we really reduced our staff. And then when we saw that we needed more staff, we couldn't get any staff. So we will be out there recruiting this winter. We spent a lot of time in the winter time trying to recruit for staff for the summer. So anybody who's interested in working at the Lily Pad Springs next summer, please put in an application at westbloomfieldparks.org, and then or wvparks.org, excuse me. And then same thing if you want to work out in the parks, dragging and marking baseball fields, mowing lawns, any of that kind of activity. We are looking for 18-year-old healthy young West Bloomfield residents to come out and help us in our parks.
You know what? And it looks great on a resume. Plus, your first job or your second job, it's great to be able to have a job where you are actually outdoors, enjoying the weather and not stuck inside. So I hope that it's a lot easier for you and your team over there at the West Bloomfield Parks to be able to hire people next year. So again, thank you for being with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast, and congratulations again on the anniversary. Facebook Live today at 3 o'clock over on the West Bloomfield Parks Facebook page. Check it out and maybe you can get some free passes.